Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Emily Jean if you guys are new here, and today I'm going to teach you how to create this signature gorgeous dark brown smoky eye. This is just like such a signature look for me, and I'm really excited to share the whole look with you guys. But first, I do want to thank today's sponsor, Ana Luisa. You guys know I love them to death. I've worked with them times before. If you don't know Ana Luisa, they are sustainably made jewelry line from New York. I wear their jewelry pieces all the time, and they're some of my absolute favorites. I love them because of their sustainability. They offset 100% of their carbon footprints, basically meaning everything they take from our earth they're giving back to earth, kind of like a fair trade with Mother Nature in a way, and I love that. I think that's something we need to look for more in brands moving forward, is how they're actually treating the planet and our earth behind the scenes, and Ana Luisa is amazing at that. I also love them for their price point. They are luxe, beautiful products with a high range of prices, from more affordable starting at $49 to more expensive real gold pieces. I'm wearing a bunch of their pieces today. First up, I have these two little gold link necklaces. I'm obsessed with these and how dainty they are, kind of layer nicely. These are two little necklaces that I literally wear constantly. Ever since I received these new products, I literally have not changed my jewelry. The next piece that I have are my little gold hoops. They're more like an oval shape, and I'm obsessed with the structure. And then in my seconds, I have these beautiful gold safety pin earrings, and paired together they're so beautiful because they're both kind of that longer shape. And then I also have one of my OG Ana Luisa rings on that I wear all the time. So for example, the safety pin earrings retail for $59. These are long lasting, high quality jewelry. So I'm obsessed with all my pieces from Ana Luisa. It always just makes me feel more elevated and goes with all my looks. I love having the all gold, kind of more simplistic jewelry on day to day, and I think it pairs really well with such a dramatic makeup look. It's just very classy and feminine, but they still have such modern, up-to-date designs. Like the safety pin, I think, is just so cool. They have more of the modern cool style, kind of a lot of the pieces that I'm wearing right now, while they also have a bunch of like really classic, beautiful designs. And Ana Luisa is currently running an exclusive Black Friday sale. It is very rare that their jewelry pieces go on sale, so I highly recommend taking advantage of this time and shopping their website, whether it's for yourself or even Christmas gifts or any gifts that you have. You guys can shop the sale at www.analuisa.com/EmilyJeanBF. I will have the link down below, as well as my pieces that I'm wearing right now linked, so you can check them out specifically. Definitely like completes this whole look, and I love these pieces as well because I wear them when I'm fully glammed up like this, or when I have a full gray sweatsuit on and no makeup. It still just looks so beautiful. Every individual piece come in these beautiful velvety navy Ana Luisa pouches, which is great to store in or to use for like traveling. Check them out and make sure to take advantage of their Black Friday sale. Okay, now to get into the makeup, I'm so excited to share this look with you guys. This is more of like a tutorial based video. I try to not talk about a bunch of other stuff in this. Since I know I've been doing so many get ready with me's lately, I want to just stick to the makeup and share the look and how I created this. If you guys aren't following me on socials, follow me on Instagram and TikTok, everywhere else at Emily Jean Beauty. You should also subscribe to this channel so you guys know when I'm posting, and Vlogmas is around the corner. I'm so excited. I also have a podcast at the Kind Minds Podcast. It's going a little bit slow right now because honestly, you guys, I'm so insanely busy with trying to get YouTube done for you guys, and I feel like a bunch of work has hit me at once. But the podcast is still up and going, and I try to post episodes every Tuesday. You can continually check there, and you can find us on Instagram too to see any updates. I also have a merch line, and you can buy Kind Minds merch and some other signature pieces. I already sold out of one of my fall collection hoodies. Thank you guys so much for your support. But if you want to check out anything else, I will have my website down below as well. You guys know the drill. Any info you ever need, it's always in the description. If not, you can leave a question in the comments, and I usually try to get back to people asking like specific questions. If you guys want to see how to get this glam smoky brown fall eye, then just keep watching. My face is fresh. We're nice and zoomed in so we can start with the makeup. I just cleansed my face and moisturized, and I also did a little lip plumper, the Too Faced Extreme. Just kind of prep my face overall before we get into the makeup. Obviously, this is a dark eye look, so we're going to start with our eyes first. I'm going to start by priming and also concealing my eyelids because I have lots of discoloration and I want a nice fresh base to start. I take my e.l.f. Camo Concealer. You can find this at Target literally for $5. It is so good. This is the original one. They also have one with a white cap that is like a hydrating version. I personally didn't really like it, but I've heard a lot of amazing things about it. So if you have a dry under eye or you just like a more hydrating concealer, maybe try that one, which is actually very surprising I didn't like that one because I do have a dry under eye and I do normally like more hydrating products, but for some reason that one just didn't work out as well. Maybe I need to use it more. Either way, I really like the original one. It's a really good dupe for Shape Tape if you guys are on a budget. I'm gonna do actually a second layer of that just to really get a nice clean base. I'm really excited about filming this video because I'm going to try and keep it as tutorial based as I can and not talk too much because I feel like I've been doing a lot of get ready with me's, but a makeup video sometimes just needs to be about the makeup and you guys want to learn what I'm doing. The next product I'm going to take is just this random little single eyeshadow from Wet n Wild. Wet n Wild is by far one of my favorite drugstore brands. Like, I love so many things from them. This is in the shade Brulee. I will link it down below. I have a really weird obsession with single cream matte eyeshadows, and it is for this reason that I'm doing right now. I'm going to take this little eyeshadow on a flat shader brush and just set my whole eyelid where we just put all that concealer. Right now you can see how it's creasing. So I'm going to pat out with my beauty sponge first, get those creases gone, so you kind of need to work a little bit fast. And then we're going to take this cream shade and set the entire eyelid. Obviously there's so many palettes that have a cream matte shade like this in them, which is actually one of the main things I look for when I'm buying a palette, which the palette we're using today does have one. But sometimes I like to use a single one, and I just really like this formula. It's nice and light and kind of powdery, which is good for this technique. Okay, so now you can see how clean and a nice slate that we have for the eye. Moving on, I'm really excited to be using this on camera for the first time. This is the Makeup by Mario All Mattes palette. Oh, it is beautiful. If this doesn't call my name, especially like my OG Smokey brown eye videos, which is why we're here today doing it again, this is like everything I've ever needed. They're all matte neutral shades and very brown tone, which is totally my vibe. I think brown looks good on every eye color, every hair color, and I think people sometimes stray away just from like a nice neutral brown. People try to always be more cool toned or more warm toned, but honestly, my favorite brown smoky eye is just a nice rich chocolate neutral brown. So we're going to be using a ton of these today. You definitely do not need this palette to make this eye look. Honestly, you can recreate this look pretty much using one shadow if you really wanted to. I just suggest trying to find a few, like a lighter matte brown, a medium matte brown, and a dark matte brown, and maybe even black to create this look. We're going to get to really dig in this today. I'm going to start by taking a fluffy brush. I'm going to take this nice creamy kind of latte shade, I would say. Dip in there with my fluffy brush, and I'm gonna start building this color in my crease. This is just kind of like starting the eye look. And since we are doing our eyes first, you guys do not need to worry about being messy or over blending. That's actually why I do my eyes first, so I can over blend, because then once you clean up, it will be perfection. Getting that in the crease. This is gonna make that nice seamless fade at the very top. You can kind of think of like a smoky eye like layers. So you want to do the first layer that's going to be the most smokiness, and then we're going to keep getting darker and darker and more precise and more imprecise. And I hope so ultimately will lead to like a nice faded look. And obviously with a smoky eye, because we're going to be using a lot of dark colors, you do want to be careful, so don't over smoke it out. Basically the first color that you use, you can smoke out the most, and as we get deeper, you want to smoke out the least. I next want to pick like our base neutral brown for the whole lid. I think I'm going to do this one right here. It's looking the most neutral and most brown to me. I'm going to take that on a fluffy kind of flatter brush, and I'm going to dip in here. Looking to get into some new brushes, so I think I want to do a whole Vlogmas day where maybe we go pick out some new makeup brushes. I just feel like I haven't got any in so long, and after a while I feel like mine are just kind of so worn and used, and also I just want some new exciting brushes to work with. Okay, so now you can see I'm really packing the color on one side of this brush and kind of patting and blending at the same time, but I'm not taking this any higher than my crease line. But you do want to get all the way in the inner corner and just keep packing on the color until you like the pigment. The best thing about this eye look, honestly, is it's going to look messy regardless, so it's kind of like hard to screw it up. It's not like a super precise look like a winged liner would be. Okay, I'm gonna go back in with the original fluffy brush and take some of the darker brown that we've been using and kind of throw this in the crease, but be a little bit more precise with it. Now, I think I really need to deepen that color. There's not enough saturation in that brown. I'm gonna go in with this even darker brown right next to the black, and I'm going to take an even smaller fluffy brush like this one, dip in there, and start packing this on the outer half of my eyes. Oh yeah, that's that rich color we want. So I'll link some of my other favorite neutral matte palettes down below that I love doing this look with, because by no means you need to buy this palette. And honestly, I've used many cheaper palettes that are maybe better than this one, if I'm being honest right now. But we'll get into that in another video. I want to do like full reviews on some of the new products that I got from Sephora. I'm going to zoom you guys in a little bit closer to my eyes just so you can really see what's going on. Okay, I zoomed you guys in a little bit closer, and I also turned my ring light on because I totally forgot to do that. So hopefully you can see the details a little bit better. Obviously it's looking extremely messy right now, but we need to just keep pushing and then we can clean it up and it will all come together. Okay, I'm going to keep going into this darkest brown on this fluffy brush that we've been using. Now I'm going to use this kind of smaller fluffy brush to shape this crease area. Just kind of rounding out the outer half. Now we definitely need to fix this inner portion right here because I feel like it's getting a little bit streaky. I'm going to take another flat brush and dip into the original medium chocolate brown. Got that on there, and I'm going to pack this on the inner half. Okay, honestly guys, I'm going to try using my finger. These mattes, I feel like these mattes are not good for building up like intense color for some reason. Just having an issue. I feel like it looks pretty intense on camera, but in person I'm seeing all the little imperfections. Taking a clean fluffy brush and going in with this shade here. It's kind of like another mid-tone brown, but lighter than the one we've been using. I'm going to use this to fix up above the crease, like above the dark shades where that lighter shade is that we first applied. Okay, I think we need to clean up for now so we can see what we're working with. I think that's one of the biggest tips I can give you guys if you're new to makeup, is kind of just being very patient with yourself, because the looks can be very discouraging in the process. Like the process is kind of ugly in a way until you see the final product. So my secret tip to cleaning up this, you would assume I would just use a makeup wipe, which I definitely have done that in the past, but I really don't like using makeup wipes. They're so rough on your skin and the chemicals, and sometimes I feel like then the residue that it leaves underneath is messing up with the foundation. So I like to use an eye cream. I just have a little eye cream here, and I'm also going to take a little bit of toilet paper. This is a fortune to have this nowadays. You can get a little bit of eye cream on. I'm gonna dip it in there, and we are going to use this to clean up the eyes. So I'm kind of just dragging up to create that shape. I don't want anything too sharp. We're not trying to do like a wing or anything. I'm gonna zoom you guys out and we can move on to our face makeup. All right, we're zoomed out. I had to charge my camera for a little bit. So while it was charging, I did kind of clean up around my eyes. All I did is take my Fenty concealer, which is kind of like a lighter concealer. I didn't want to use my e.l.f. one. And I took this little pencil brush and I kind of just cleaned up here and all up on my brow bone. You can see just how it's a straighter line to kind of fix that up. And then we can add more shadow later. And then obviously underneath is nice and cleaned up. So when I cleaned up the edges, you can see this isn't like a perfectly sharp point. I don't want that. I want it to still be smoky. So when you look at me from the front, it's nice and blown out, which it will all connect even more once we finish the lower lash line. I'm going in with one of my favorites, the Benefit Porefessional. This is the hydrating one. I love how so many like classic products come out with secondary versions of them that are either hydrating or mattifying and just more focused on one thing. I think that's amazing. If you guys do want to fill in your pores and have a nice smooth base, but always find that pore filling primers are kind of drying and mattifying, this is so good. Honestly, the original Porefessional is still amazing. It's not like a drying formula, but if you do have like extra dry, flaky skin, especially now that we're in like the winter months, honestly, it's freezing in Michigan now. It's only gonna get colder, so using like a hydrating primer is key. You guys, I've been so stuck on this foundation. It is just so good. I love it more and more every time I use it. I think the liquidiness is just what makes this so unique because it still has such high coverage with being so lightweight and thin and easy to blend out. I don't know how to explain it. This color's looking more yellow on me today because I'm losing my tan now that it's cold here. I haven't started my fake tan yet because I'm too scared to start fake tanning, because once I start my fake tan routine, I know I'm gonna like have to keep up with it. I have been going to the tanning salon a little bit once we opened back up from quarantine, which I don't recommend, and that's why I don't really share on my channel. I bought like a membership near me, but I want to cancel that now that it's cold out and I'll get into my like sunless tanner routine. I'm just not really a fake tan person during the summer and warmer months because I am showing more skin and my legs, and like it's easy to show mess ups with that. While in the winter when I do fake tan, it's more just kind of get that base tan on my body, and it's not like I'm as exposed, if that makes sense. I don't know. Do you see how flawless this looks and that glow? And it just blends out so quickly in a nice thin layer, but I still feel like I have so much good coverage. Obviously my skin is like really good right now, so obviously that's a huge reason on why this looks good as well. But even if I have any little blemishes like up here and on my nose, I can just cover that with concealer. So if you guys have any areas where you do want more coverage, you can either build this foundation up or just add concealer. I'm gonna add a little bit more just because I like the look of it, and especially with a dark eye, like full coverage I honestly think is key. I'm gonna take some of this on my neck so it blends. I'm going to try and take this foundation like around my eyes a little bit because I feel like the color of my skin isn't matching underneath. Especially like right in here, I like to... I'm going to move on to concealer, going back in with the e.l.f. Camo that we used in the beginning. And I'm going to go along the sides of my nose and create that classic triangle look. Obviously you can see I use a much lighter concealer than my foundation. That is on purpose. All in the T-zone areas. I did just remember this concealer sets pretty quickly, so maybe do one section at a time or work really fast. For the under eye, you can see I'm dragging it all the way up to my temple because that's what's going to lift your eyes up. If you don't actually blend it up there, then you're not really doing yourself a favor. So you want to bring it all the way up so you can see this brightness lifts my face up, and then that's where we'll apply the highlighter. Just a tip that we always need to remind ourselves, even me as well, is you're never going to overblend. So you can see right now, I mean, my foundation and concealer is completely blended out, but I'm just kind of taking that extra 60 seconds to keep blending and make sure it's all seamless. The same thing goes for any part on your makeup, eyes, lips, contour. Okay, now to set the face a little bit, it is already feeling pretty set, so I know I'm not going to want to use too much powder today, but I do always want to set the under eye at least a little bit, so I'm taking the Mercier Translucent Honey Setting Powder. I'm going to dip my beauty blender into the powder to set my under eyes. This is literally the best trick in the book ever. I can't believe this like wasn't a thing or wasn't as well known before, that you can use powders on your beauty sponge. I remember when I first did it for the first time, I was like, holy shit, that has changed everything in my makeup game. This is literally like one of the top powders ever on the market. So if you like the translucent one, try the honey one or the deep one, if whatever like works for your skin tone. And let me know what you think. I'm very, very curious because just that change of color in there changes the powder formula like so much in my opinion. For contour and shaping our face, I'm gonna go in with an oldie but a goodie. I don't know if this is even available anymore. I hope to God it is. I'll link it down below. If not, I'll link a different palette. This is the Tarte Park Ave Princess contour or like chiseled palettes. This is like OG. These are in my like original YouTube videos. I think I'm gonna start my contour with this more gray one and then add a little bit of warmth so it doesn't look too fakey. I'm gonna grab my angled fluffy brush. This is why I need new brushes because these are just used and abused. I'm gonna dip into the first shade here, tap off excess, suck in the cheeks, and start my contour at the top and then slowly drag down. I think I've shared this before recently, and I also just watched one of Jaclyn Hill's new videos and she said the same thing in the video, which I think is just, I love that because honestly I learned everything I know from Jaclyn. So the fact that she's using a brand new tip that she's never done before, just like I am, is really cool. Is people are taking their contour much higher than they used to. Before, I always heard like from the ear to the corner of the mouth, but then you stop under your pupil and that's where your contour is. But lately I've been hearing you want to do your contour even higher and almost like on your cheekbone here and then highlighter here, so you're just raising it even more and really creating that upward look, because that is the whole goal with this. And especially for someone like Jaclyn and even myself, if I am feeling puffy, my face is very round, so the more I bring it down, I'm really just making my face more round and lower instead of the look that we want. So yeah, I saw Jaclyn talk about that and I said it in one of my other videos too, so I think it's just so cool that she like found a new technique that she really likes and it's the same thing that I've been doing. I'm kind of just adding some color on the sides of my nose. I don't really contour my nose just because I'm not really into it. I do like to add the color so everything looks uniform. Some contour up on the sides of my forehead and temples. This is where I like to connect it all, so I like to do it pretty much all here. And then I take it all along the hairline and that's what goes into the contour. Okay, I feel like up there is looking a little like too gray. So now I'm going to take that warmer tone here and I'm going to add this to my cheeks as well and everywhere else that I applied it. Just a lighter amount, just kind of add that warmth color. Now, of course, I'm going to contour under my jawline. This is huge and very important, especially for like side profiles right here. So you want to contour underneath your face to create that shadow under here. Charlotte Tilbury makes beautiful blushes. This one's in the shade Cheek to Chic. It's a nice like shimmery lighter color on the outside and then a hotter, brighter color in the middle. I like to focus getting that brighter pink. This is such a beautiful blush and adds such a beautiful glow. This is one of those blushes you can use without using any highlighter and it will look amazing. So I'm going to take my favorite blush brush, swirl in the middle, especially on that pink, smile, and apply. I like to apply it on the apples of my cheeks and then sweep up into my contour so it's all kind of one uniform placement. You can see that glow on my cheek, how beautiful that is. I actually love that because it adds a nice glow on the apples where I normally wouldn't want highlighter, but it's a nice subtle glow there. And I also like to apply to my chin, nose, and on the temples over the contour just so everything blends nice and beautiful. I've been so obsessed with my new Dior highlighter. It is incredible, but I'm going to take this peachy color and champagne color and mix them and apply this to the tops of my cheekbones. Just right at the very, very top. And also on the tip of the nose, of course, the Cupid's bow and the chin. Okay, I am going to be right back. I'm going to do my eyebrows and mascara off camera, come back to finish the lips. Mascara and brows are done. It really pulls the whole look together. I also wiped off any of the excess lip product on my lips and just kind of carved them out with a piece of toilet paper. For the brows, I just used my little e.l.f. palette. These are so underrated and so easy to use. if I can open it. But it's a nice like light gel and a powder. I really don't touch the powder at all, but I do use this with my Benefit brush, and it's a nice, natural, easy way to shape your brows without being too dramatic. And then for mascara, I used my Voluminous Lash Paradise on the top, and then I put the Charlotte Tilbury Full Fat Lashes on the bottom. I have no idea why I did that. I was just kind of feeling it, and I think they look good. I totally forgot we haven't smoked out our under lash line, so I normally like to do that before I do my mascara, but let's zoom in and we'll finish up our eyes. So with our lower lash line, we kind of want to do the same thing that we did on our eyes, but kind of reverse. So I'm going to start with a pretty defined brush, and I'm going to take the darkest brown color that we have to stamp into the lash line and really darken that up. I'm going to grab this brown just so it's not too dark. I'm basically taking this and stamping it as close to the lash line as possible. Now taking my pencil brush, I'm going to go in with the warmer tone light brown to really smoke this out and add that fade down there. I want to use something a little bit warm here just so you can really see the smokiness from inner to outer, and you can take it kind of low. But do you see how much bigger this eye is already looking, and so like fierce and intense? And that nice warm shade you can see is a clear difference here compared to over here. So I'm going to do the same thing on the other eye. You guys can tell how much of a difference that makes. It's one of my favorite steps of makeup. I think I want to keep the inner corner pretty dark and not highlighted at all. So just to kind of intensify that, I'm going to take our pencil brush again, since it's a nice pointed tip. And I'm actually going to take that same warm brown that we just used on the under eye and just kind of stamp it right in the tear duct. The reverse to this is you could add like the highlighter we used. You could pack the Dior like crystally highlighter on the inner corner. But honestly, sometimes I just want full brown matte eye. Okay, moving on to lips, I'm going to line them using my MAC lip pencil in the shade Stripdown. I'm going to do a little overlining. And see how warm this lip liner is. It's almost matching the tones of the eyes. I like to blend my liner just from doing that. It's already like all up on the top. I want to shape the top too. I want to show you a trick to kind of lighten and bring like an ombre look to your lips. I've been doing this lately and I haven't done it in so long. I actually laugh about it because this is like a middle school, throwback to middle school look, but I would do it with just concealer and not any lip product. So the trick is to take a little bit of concealer, dab it on the back of my hand. I'm going to take some on my finger and dab it in the center of my lip. Just the tiniest bit, and you can see how that's already creating that ombre look. If you're going to do this trick with a concealer, you probably need to do a gloss on top, otherwise it will start to look kind of weird. If you want it to stay matte, I would suggest getting like a legit lipstick in a super nude shade to do this same trick so you can see how ombre they look. In middle school, I literally would just do concealer on my lips because, hey, and I was like 14 with like concealer lips and I thought I was so cool. Guys, I just sprinted to my car to grab this lip gloss. I feel like with this look, I want a really nice cream gloss and nothing with like too much of Flex's shimmer in it. This is the e.l.f. Lip Plumping Gloss in the shade Pink Cosmo. Some shades are more like crystallized with sparkle in it, and then some are more like a cream base, I would call this, because it's more just like one solid color and it's a nice light baby pink. Look how shiny and glossy that makes your lips. It's absolutely beautiful. Okay, I'm gonna zoom out and close off this video now that this makeup look is final. So that completes today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it and loved seeing this makeup look. I definitely want to do more glam full looks like this and tutorial based, so let me know if you like that. I think it's gorgeous detailed with such tiny delicate jewelry pieces. So one last shout out to definitely check out Ana Luisa down below. I'll have those links there for you. They're doing a great Black Friday sale, so definitely check them out while you can get things discounted. I love you guys so much. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!